human entrepreneurs had targeted locales with a mix of economic expansion possibilities. The Bill Swift area had caught their eye, offering lumber, exotic seafood, and possible tourism. The tourism angle hadn't worked out as well as the developers had hoped, but the other two were keeping the community's financial head above water. Still, the city's history meant it had remained very much dominated by humans, which fit with Selene's analysis. Not that I could smell much of anything, except the salty ocean air around us. But I didn't doubt her analysis for a second. The breeze was light, but it was coming from the east, which meant it was carrying traces of the entire spectrum of Bill Swift's aromas toward us. I was used to Selene's magic myself, of course. She and I had been together for many years, first as bounty hunters, then as Crockett's, then as whatever the hell our official position was these days with the Icarus Group. But Kadolians were extremely rare in the spiral, and their hypersensitive sense of smell was guaranteed to surprise the socks off most of the rest of the population. More than once I'd considered parlaying Selene's talents into bar bets and free drinks. So far I'd resisted that temptation.
"It's the two unfamiliar ones that concern me,"
she continued, an unhappy look in her deep-set gray cat's-eyes pupils.
"One of them seems to be Patth."
"Seems to be Patth?" I echoed, frowning. It wasn't like Selene hadn't had plenty of experience smelling Patth cuisine, after all. Way more experience, really, than either of us had ever wanted.
"Yes, seems to be,"
she confirmed.
"There are distinct Patth elements, but there are variations from the ones I'm familiar with."
"Maybe it's their version of gourmet cooking," I said, feeling my stomach tighten as I eyed the low, tree-covered foothills to the east that ran between the higher mountains in the near distance, right down to the edge of town. And in the ocean to the west, a wide river bordering the city to the north and more encroaching forest to the south. And Bill Swift took on a definite sense of claustrophobia. I'd hoped we could finish the job the Admiral had sent us here for and get out of town before the Patth arrived in force. Clearly, we were too late. Unless... Any way to tell from the strength of the aroma how many Patth are chowing down? I asked. I'm wondering if what you're smelling is just the advanced team.
"You mean it might be an upper-class variant?"
she suggested. Exactly, I said. If we're talking an organizer or a conciliator, maybe even a subdirector if Nask has sent someone ahead, then the archaeologists and diggers the Admiral said were on their way might not have arrived yet.
"That's possible,"
Selene said, her eyelashes fluttering as she tried to sift the more elusive aromas from the air.
"Either way, there's no way to tell the number of Patth by the strength of the aroma."
Either way, the clock's ticking, I said. I'm thinking maybe we should hit the ground running. A quick drive up into the mountains as soon as we can grab a runaround and see if we can at least figure out whether there's anything up there that was worth burning through hyperspace at +30 for. I peered off to the west. In fact, with a good 4 hours of daylight left, we might even be able to finish off the whole thing.
"We can try,"
Selene said more cautiously.
"Uh-oh."
I followed her pointing finger. A middle-aged and decidedly overweight Imesit was trundling toward us at a speed usually reserved for younger members of her species. She was carrying an info pad, and as her arms pumped up and down, I spotted the spaceport logo on the back of the pad. I winced. So something both official and urgent. Terrific. We reached the bottom of the zigzag about 3 steps before the Imesit reached us.
"Stop!"
she puffed as she came to a halt.
"No, Father! You are..."